You're listening to the Wealthy Future Lawyer Squad podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Klein. I've created a signature coaching program for law students to show you how to build confidence, design your dream life, create wealth, and thrive in law school and beyond. I am here to show you how to work on both your money and your mind so you too can become a wealthy future lawyer. Let's get started, squad. Welcome back to the Wealthy Future Lawyer Squad podcast. I am so excited to be sitting here with my guest today, Kayla Moran. This is going to be, I say this every episode because I have the best guests. I have the best guests. I love all of my guests so much, but this really is going to be a great episode. We were already like chit-chatting for 20 minutes before we started recording. And like mid-sentence, I'm like, okay, I think we should start recording because we have so much goodness going on in this conversation. So before we dive into our convo and all of our questions that we love to ask our guests, I'm just going to give a brief bio on my fabulous guest, Kayla. So Kayla is a trademark and contract attorney for creators and entrepreneurs in the creator economy. She is the founder of Kayla Moran Law and Connecta Social. And she's also the host of the Let's Get Candid podcast, which is fantastic. It will be linked below if you haven't listened to it. Definitely check it out. When Kayla set out to become an attorney, her goal was to become in-house counsel for a lifestyle company. But during law school, she discovered that she could combine her interests and create a career on her own terms, which I love and is obviously the way that I love to live my life. And so it's so great to see someone doing that so early on in their career. I love that. Kayla went to the University of Central Florida. And in 2018, she started writing a blog that chronicled her study abroad experience, love study abroad, and law school application process and the law school experience. Kayla went to the University of Tennessee College of Law. And so you moved from Miami to Tennessee, which is crazy. We'll have to talk about that. It's very different. And while she was in law school, she really learned who she was and the power of following her intuitions. Between navigating post-college growing pains and a full-time course load in law school, blogging was your outlet, which is incredible. You really started to make a lot of friends online, people in Miami, New York, and LA, where so many creatives live and thrive. And after a few years, you went and you created your lifestyle and fashion content, which is so great. And you had the crazy idea, which is not really that crazy. I think it's actually genius.
Now it's not crazy, but at the time it felt really crazy.
Yeah, it's just crazy genius. To combine her passion for social media and legal training and build that into a career. As her community grew, she connected with attorneys who seemed to have the same idea, and you got a lot of on-the-job experience, working in your clinic and law school. And I love this. This is really cool. You worked, part-time as an influencer manager. Definitely want to talk about that. And you wrote an essay on why lawyers were needed in the creator economy with the help of your clinic professor to get published and gain credibility, which is just amazing.
All his idea.
Amazing.
Not mine.
So now you have your own law firm, you have your own influencer management company, you have your own podcast, and you're just blowing up. And it's so fun to see. It's so fun to watch you. So welcome to the podcast. I am so excited to chat with you.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh. So I don't even know where to start because I have so many questions for you. And I always go through my normal questions, but tell us, how did you get started? What's your story? Where are you from? Tell us all the things, law school, everything.
I could talk for hours. So be careful with that. But no, I'm from Miami, born and raised. I was a dancer my entire life. And it's funny, I was always like, everyone talks about my hair. Like, I have really good hair.
Yeah, you have
so
fabulous
people
hair.
would always be like, what are you using? How did you curl your hair? Where did you get this? How did you do this? And so people would always ask me about what I'm doing or what I'm up to, especially like in college. When I was in college, I was in a sorority, and I was like kind of the underdog in high school. Like everybody knew me, but I wasn't. I went to a high school with 3,500 people. So there was no popular kids. There was no like cliques. It was like everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
I was one of the dancers. So like I was known, but I wasn't like the hot girl in school,
Yeah.
So college was really my time to shine. And I was in a sorority, and I was a junior in college, and it was 2018 January, and I had just turned 20. I'm a November baby, so I had just turned 20, and I was in a contracts law class because I was a legal studies major, and I get a Business Insider article from my dad that says 10 things to do before you turn 30. I said, "Sir, I just turned 20. Relax."
No pressure, Dad.
Like, hold your horses. But number 2 was to start a blog, and his whole thing was that was what he
Mm.
wanted me to look at.
I love that your dad sent you that. That is
And
so cool.
it all started because he was like, "You are going to go study abroad." Or I was applying for study abroad. So, like, we were
Mm.
manifesting that I was going to go study abroad.
Yes.
And that's kind of the beginning of, like, the manifesting part too. But he was like, "You're going to probably study abroad. Like, you chronicle your trips. Like, we always go on these really cool family trips. Like,
Mm.
share your itinerary. Like, people always are asking you about where you took that photo or where you got this. So, like, why don't you start a blog and share all of that?" And that
Yeah.
was the
I
catalyst
love your
for
dad.
literally everything else.
Wow. That's so
No,
cool.
my parents truly, like, coming from an immigrant background, like, I'm the firstborn in this country. Spanish is my first language. You know, I'm the first grandchild's first person born here.
Mm.
Considering all of that, my parents went to high school here, so it's like I'm kind of in between two worlds, very similar to them.
Yeah.
But they have been my biggest cheerleaders. But they also know when to challenge me, when to be like, "Okay, let's hold off on us for this."
Yeah.
Or it's like, "Okay, no, you're onto something." Like, I joke that they're my board of directors, and we had a board meeting on Wednesday night last week, with a glass of very expensive, nice Napa Sauvignon Blanc.
Love it.
We were sitting around and we were going through my financials, and we were going through like my 2024 goals, and I was telling him I hired 2
Oh my
assistants. And
gosh.
like, I don't ask for permission. I don't have to, it's my business, but
Yeah.
I
You value
I
their
value their opinion. So
opinion.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
did this, and I was like really scared to say that. My mom was like,
Wow.
"No, like, I think like, how are you going to pay them? How are you going to break it down? Like, what are the scope of work? Like, what is all this?" They had questions, but they were like,
Yeah. Which
"No."
is so valuable because then it helps you to kind of think it
Yes,
through.
100%.
Yeah.
And so both of them were like, "No, like that was the smartest thing you could have done for your business.
Oh
Like,
my
I
gosh.
really think that was a good idea." And so my dad has always paid my taxes for me. Like, he's always the one filing them. Since I was 16.
Mm.
And my mom is her background is accounting.
Mm.
So she's like helps me with my books and like all of that. So they work together in that
So
sense. And like,
nice.
I know I'm gonna hire a CPA next year for like now 2023 to taxes, like
Yeah.
filing for 2022, because now I have multiple ventures and income streams and bank accounts, and it's harder to keep track than for my dad, who does it for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But having had that background, that knowledge, like, I know what to look for when I'm interviewing these people. He
Mm.
likes the girl that know I'm gonna go to. She's been
Yeah.
instrumental in all of this behind the scenes. She's one of my law firm clients, my first trademark client ever.
Oh,
And now
amazing.
I'm gonna hire her to be my CPA. So like, it takes a village, my whole childhood for sure.
Yeah.
My grandma lives a block away, the house my mom grew up in, that my
Oh,
dad moved into when they got married. She cooks dinner for us every night, and she is my best friend. She drove me to school. And so like, everybody was
love
always a
that.
part of my childhood, and like, they're big part of my life now and my career, and like, they support me and everything, and I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for them.
Yeah. That's so huge. That's
Yeah.
so huge.
No,
That's amazing.
100%.
And so, who was the one that did you want to go to law school? Did they want you to go to law school? What was like the trajectory from when 2018 your dad sent you that? Was it 2018 you
Yeah.
said? Send you the article and then how did you go from there to law
So
school?
teachers, I was actually watching a TikTok about Pitbull talking about how his teacher started his career, like really gave him the tools to start his career. I'll send it to you. It's really cool.
Mm.
But it was a high school teacher. And Mr. Kraus, shout out to him, my government teacher.
Oh my
He was
gosh.
my AP US government and AP macroeconomics. And I failed macro, but I passed AP Gov. But that's beside the point. Um, I love history. I've always loved history. My dad's a Marine. My dad's an Operation Desert Storm
Mm.
vet.
Oh
So
wow.
I grew up watching The Patriot and all of these movies, and I loved them. And I would, if
Yeah.
I'm a very curious person, and he's always fostered that. My dad reads my textbooks for fun. So it was like,
I
oh,
love
like,
it.
you're curious about that, go Google it. Go read a book. Here's a book. Here, go do this. So
Mm.
it was that curiosity. And so I remember I was going to DC for the first time as a senior in high school. I was 16 because I'm a year younger. So I was 16,
Mm.
a senior in high school. And I was telling my professor, now I call him Eric, but Mr. Krause, I'm going to DC. Like, anything like I should do or see, because he went to
Yeah.
college in Richmond, Virginia.
Mm.
And he was like, you have to do all of this. So I remember being in DC, and I bought him like the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution, like the
Ah.
scroll, and I brought it back to him. And he was like, oh, like, did you like DC? Like, he like fostered my curiosity.
Mm.
Like, one day after class, like, would would you want to like work in DC? Would you want to live there? Like, what do you want to study? Do you know yet? Like, it was college admissions season. We were applying for colleges. It was the fall. And he was like, I think like if you like DC and you like history and you like politics, like you like government.
Yeah.
And it was right when we had signed up to vote. You know, we were 17 going into graduation.
Yeah.
He's like, you should consider law school. And obviously as immigrant parents, doctor, lawyer, engineer, architect, of course.
Yeah.
So the minute they never pushed it, I knew what a lawyer was, but there was none in my family.
Yeah.
I liked SVU. Like I knew it on TV.
Yeah.
And it's still one of my favorite
So
shows.
good. So good.
And I was like, guys, I think I want to be a lawyer. And they're like, okay, like, cool. Like, look at colleges that have political science programs because that's what my teacher told me.
Yeah.
So I looked and I thought I wanted to go away. So I applied to UNC and Princeton were like my reach schools. And then like the Florida schools, minus FSU. I've never liked FSU. Sorry, guys. But I didn't get into anything. And UCF, I got in after 8 days. And they actually had a really good legal studies and political science department. So that's where I went. And that was it. Like, I was like, I'm going to go to law school. And they were like, all right, we support you. Like, let us know how we can. Mind you, my parents had never applied to college.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to read a personal statement or anything. Like, they didn't know.
So you were on your own.
I was on my own. They were figuring it out with me. And, like, my brother and my cousins now, and my brother is, like, friends and, like, girlfriends, like, they're so lucky because they did it with me. But
yeah,
we were doing it together. It was the first time that anybody applied for college in my family.
Oh, my gosh.
Even though my parents did go to college, but, like, later in the community college first. And then they went to FIU through Miami-Dade. So, like, they did it, but, like, not.
It wasn't the full, like, you're sitting down.
Not the college experience.
And,
I went away. I joined a sorority. I did, like, the American college experience.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to do that. They were like, fly the coop, go live your life and figure it out, make mistakes. My parents have been together since they were 15 and 17 respectively. So they're like, do not get into a relationship, play the field, do whatever you gotta do, like go be messy and like figure it out. And like we will always be here for you. So that was what it was. Like starting like law school was like, I had the idea and they encouraged me and supported me. And when a 1L in law school came back home and said, I don't know if this is for me, they said, we support you if you're going to drop out, but you will be going to get a job. Like, we're not going to bankroll you forever. Yeah. And so what do you want to do? Do you have a plan? And because I didn't know what I wanted to do, they were like, give it a year.
Yeah.
And let's talk in the summer. COVID hit in March. So I got to come home, and that was the best thing that could have ever happened.
Yeah.
Because I got to come home, which is what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I was
going to ask, how did you stay in it even though you really were
COVID
struggling? Yeah, so it really
probably because of COVID looking back, but truly, which we'll talk about it, like yoga started becoming a really big part of my life. There was one professor, we call her Yoga Joan. Love this woman. So she is like the crazy, think of like Edna in The Incredibles, but like she's from New York.
Oh my gosh.
No nonsense.
I love it. And she was your professor.
So she doesn't teach 1Ls. She only teaches upperclassmen. But she made it a point to sit in the commons where everybody eats lunch and walks by and do her office hours in the commons. So if she saw anybody walk by, she would be like, hi, how are you? Or if she saw you crying or stressed out for an interview, she would check in on you.
Yeah.
And so one day.
She cares.
And one day I was having a really bad day and I was crying. I don't know. I can't tell you what it was about. Yeah. But like.
It was law school.
I don't know, something.
I was crying all the time.
And she stopped me and she was like, hey, are you okay? And I said, no. She said, do you want to talk about it? And like she got up. We had like couches in the back. So we go sit on the couch and I cried for 2 hours to this woman that I did not know.
Yeah.
And
she wasn't your professor. She was just there.
I was a 1L. I didn't know her. She's like, I knew I was going to do the business track, so I knew I would have her next semester. Yeah. Or in the fall. Yeah. But I didn't know her. And I had heard of Hemingway, like Hemingway being like, she's the girl for anything corporate finance, real estate finance, tax, business association. She's your girl.
Wow.
So I was like, she's someone I want to get to know at some point in the future. But I didn't know her or think I was going to get to know her yet. And like, I was like, I don't even know if I want to be here. So like, I'm not going to go up to this woman who is like incredible and be like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. But I kind of ended up doing that. Yeah. And she was like, I teach yoga for free. I give you guys mats. I give you guys blocks. Just, I need to get up from the desk and behind the screen and stretch 1 hour a week. So I started doing it here in the commons. We move the tables and like come to yoga next week. Wow. And she would send a massive email at like 5:30. It was at 6. So at 5:30, she would get a campus-wide or like law school-wide email, like come to
Yeah.
yoga.
Would a lot of people go?
It was like a good, anywhere between like 5 and 15 people. So like a decent amount.
Nice.
Depends on like
Yeah.
what studying is going. And like she would do
Yeah.
a finals or midterm week. Like on the reading day, she would do an early morning. So it's like, you're already going to be here.
Yeah.
Don't say you can't do it because of exams. Like, come do it now. And that was her whole thing. So I started going to yoga. And if I would miss a day, she's like, we missed you. Or like, why weren't you there? Are you okay? She would start checking in on me. And then when she was actually my professor, even more so, I had now reasons to talk to her even more. And so that was the beginning for me of like yoga manifestation, like figuring out who I really was. And it was her and my professor, also named Eric, Professor Amarante in the clinic, who he was the one who helped me write this paper. And it was his idea to write it because we had to write a thesis to graduate as a graduation requirement for my school. And I remember he asked a question of, and so like I stayed because she believes in me. This professor believes in me. And then we had a class called Lawyering and Professionalism, which was a 1L course. It was like a half semester, so 7 classes only. And the dean would teach it. And his whole thing was like, one of our exercises was building a 5-year plan and a 10-year plan. And that was our final exam for that class.
I love that. We definitely never did that.
So I can't find this document, and I'm really upset.
Oh.
Because I would love to. I have to ask him. Maybe if I see him at homecoming, I'm going to ask him.
Yeah, because I feel like you need to see what's already
He's retired,
happened,
but
where
like,
you're going.
So he doesn't work at school anymore, but I'm pretty sure he'll be there. So like, I'm going to try to ask him or see if Hemingway can find a way to get it.
Yeah. I love that they did that, though. That's something I do in the law school blueprint, because it's like, if you don't know where you're going, how can you visualize what's next and the decisions to make?
That's when we talked about the blueprint and like how like that. I started doing it for myself. Maybe it was this exercise, but his whole thing is him and Hemingway started the Institute for Professional Leadership. So that's what this class like fell under the curriculum of.
Very cool.
And doing this 5-year plan, I remember it was towards review day, final exam, spring semester. Or no, fall semester. And I had just met Yoga Joan like a couple of weeks ago, and I was running to the bathroom during the exam review, and Dean Blaze stops me in the hall, and I was like, "Oh, Kayla, I was just reading your report," and I was like, "Oh, cool." I was like, "Gotta go. Can I do you have anything else?"
Yeah.
Because he was like coming up the stairs. He didn't even fully get up the stairs. He was like still halfway on the stairs, and I was like mid run, like,
you're like,
what is going on?
Trying to go to the bathroom.
Can I go? He was like, well, I was just gonna email you, but like since you're here, and I was like, sir, I'm in the middle of an exam review, like. Can you just email me? And he's like, no, really fast. Mind you, this was like a 10-minute conversation. This was not fast.
Oh my gosh.
I'm friends with Professor Barton now, and I told him after, and he's like, that checks out. It's fine. But he was like, you're going to go a really long way. Like, I'm really excited to see what you do here. So, like, because he knew that I had been struggling. I'm one of 3 Hispanic kids. There's only 10 Black kids in my class out of 126 people. Like, they kind of know who's struggling.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing. One, Southern hospitality, but also it's a very small school. Everyone kind of knew that who everyone was struggling and, like, what was going on.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I'm excited. So it was, like, him and Yoga Joan truly were like, all right, and my parents are like, I'm going to give it a year.
Yeah.
And then meeting Eric, so we can join clinic our second semester spring. So I applied for the clinic even though I didn't have the grades, but because of Hemingway and Eric had already met me at a volunteer event a couple of months before, I got it to the clinic, even though I didn't have the grades.
Yeah, they saw the potential.
They saw my potential, and the first question he asked me, and it changed my life, and I talk about this all the time, was what kind of lawyer do you want to be? What kind of clients do you want to have? I'm going to tailor your clinic experience to that as best as I can, because it was the entrepreneur clinic. So he could get clients of everywhere. So I told you, I got a 501c3 client, and that was my big project of the semester. But he was like, I'm going to give you this one, but I will and that was a team, like a project with another student, one of my friends. But we also got individual clients. He's like, I'm going to give you this big one, and like you guys are not going to get 2 or 3 big ones. You're going to get this one big one because it's a lot more work, but I'll give you some fun ones. And he found me a mom influencer who had a trademark. And the USPTO needed her to send in a new specimen.
You're going to give me chills right now.
And so that was he was like, do you know what the USPTO is? I said, no. And he said, do you want to learn what that is? And I said, I think so. And we would meet once a week, and he
Wow.
taught me everything. And so that was the beginning, and that's why I stayed.
Mm.
And I remember telling Dean Blaze, and mind you, his last name being Blaze is the funniest thing. But he's a grandpa, like 60, 70-year-old
I love
man,
it.
white hair, but he has hiked the Appalachian Mountains like 300 million times. Like, this guy
Oh my God,
is,
what a badass.
he's a badass.
That's amazing.
All of these people are badasses. I'm like, why are you in Knoxville, Tennessee? Like, okay.
Probably the hiking.
I don't know. The nature is beautiful. I'm excited to go back, but I didn't really quite understand what I was doing in Knoxville, Tennessee. But I remember telling him and to my parents, after COVID, we were back in school. We were hybrid.
So
I had
you ultimately did end up going back.
Yeah, I
Okay.
went home. So fall semester we were hybrid, like depending on the professors, and like we had to wear masks in class, but like it
Mm.
was like spaced out A-B day type situation.
Okay.
Spring semester, all my classes, all my professors chose to be online, but clinic. So
Mm.
even though my classes, I didn't go to school during the week, I went to
Yeah.
school once a week for my meeting with Eric and clinic. Which was, I was like, why am I here? Like, it's January and no, I don't have to be here for class. But like,
Yeah.
I was like, no, I want to go meet with Eric once a week. So
Yeah.
like I stayed.
Yeah.
But
Because if you hadn't been there, you wouldn't have gotten
no.
that experience.
And so I remember telling all of them separate conversations, but I'm pretty sure they all talked about it.
Yeah.
Do you want a lawyer or a daughter? I remember asking them because my mental health was on the toilet.
Mm.
I was in a really dark spot. I had no
Mm.
friends. My health was failing. I was like struggling mental health, but also like physical health.
Yeah.
And so I was just in a really dark spot and I had no friends. And so I was like, do you want a daughter or a lawyer?
Mm.
Because if you want a lawyer, there will not be a daughter. Like, I
Mm.
won't make it.
Yeah. What point in law school was this?
This was 2L year.
Okay.
And 2L fall, spring. Spring, I finally like got my head out of my butt and figured it out. And this is where truly the vision boarding and manifestation and my exercise that we've talked about came in.
Yes.
But that
Yes.
fall semester before clinic changed my life. That question
Yeah.
that he asked me was the beginning of me being like, oh, I can make my own path. I don't have to do big law.
Mm.
Okay, cool. So 2L
Yeah.
fall, I was failing, and I remember telling failing school, and also like we got put in a remedial. I got put in the remedial course because I was like flagged as like not gonna pass the bar,
Mm.
so needed to do a remedial course. And I yelled at a professor in front of my entire class because I was like, I
Mm.
don't like that everybody knows I'm in this course, that you should have not sent it in an email,
Right.
a mass email. You should have sent individual emails to the people who need to be like, also, we are going to know we're in there because we're going to see each other in that
So
class.
they sent a mass email to everyone. These are the students that have to take a remedial course.
Pretty much.
And then people wonder why law school is so toxic and why there's mental health issues.
Professor Barton, the guy that I left the class for 10 minutes when I went to go to the bathroom and Blaze stopped me. Professor Barton, also an incredible human. Love him so much. His wife's actually the mayor of Knoxville, which is really cool.
Oh, that is cool.
So I've been to the mayor's house, which is fun.
That is fun.
But he was like to the dean who like I was yelling at in front of everybody.
Yeah.
He was like, that's enough. Like, like Kayla, you can go outside. Like, take a breather. Like, like, she needs to stop. Like, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember telling all of them, like, if you want a lawyer, like, I will not make it. But if you want a daughter, my grades might suck, but at least I'll graduate.
Yeah. Yeah.
My goal is to graduate. I want to walk across that stage.
Yeah.
And I graduated with a 3.01. I was 107 out of 120 in my class. By all intents and purposes, I failed. But first of all, that's a B. So that's stupid. Second of all, I was the only graduate who Dean Blaze hugged when I walked across that stage.
Oh.
And it's on video and it's really cool. But every time he would see me after that, he was like, no, of course I want you to be here. And my parents obviously said that. And everybody said that. Every time he'd see me, he'd like fist bump me or he'd go like this. In the
Oh
halls,
my gosh,
like,
I love it.
This man. Sir.
So cute.
And I ended up becoming the president of the Lion Law Student Association. I mean, there wasn't many of us. But like because I had to work closely with the faculty because of that, like I got really close to him and like other faculty. And then things started getting better for me.
Yeah.
But I had these key faculty members under my wing.
Yeah.
And I helped run the Institute for Professional Leadership. I wrote blog posts for them. And so I got to use my experience with blogging on a professional level. And like, I was like, lawyers were reading this in the community. And Eric was like, why don't you use your thesis and publish an excerpt in the Knoxville Bar Association Journal? Like, it's not a
Mm,
law review article, but like, you're not an academic writer and you don't really need to be,
right.
but you could write in the practitioner's journal. And like, that's going to get a whole different set of eyes, the eyes you actually really want to be on.
Right.
And so I met a lot of attorneys through being the leader of the Law and Law Student Association and going to like
Mm,
the diversity events. I helped start a pipeline for diverse like scholarships into law firms with
amazing.
one of the big law firms in the city. So like I got to do a lot more stuff because of being president
Yeah.
and being close to that community, but it was also that paper that got me in the door. And like I got to be part of the diversity
Mm,
in the bar association's committee where I got to meet the dean of the other law school in the town, other professors, practitioners who were all committed to diversity. I got to meet Arab lawyers, Chinese lawyers, like other lawyers. And I
really
was like, wow,
cool.
there is minorities in Knoxville. Like that's really
Yeah.
cool. Why is it not in the law school?
Yeah.
Which is
Mm,
interesting. But the dean of the other law school became my like KBA mentor. So like I got to know him
mm,
really well. I got to have a DA be a mentor.
so cool.
So like I got a lot more community exposure
Yeah.
and like that became my outlet, community service. I got involved with actually she's still my mentee now. She's a junior now. She's a sophomore in college. She just got her green card a couple months ago. I helped her write her personal statement and her resume and her application for
Mm,
college because her parents couldn't help her with that.
yeah.
And so now
How full circle is
it's
that?
really
That's
cool.
so
And so
cool.
she's like, I got a job like first time all her jobs were under the table. You know, she's a waitress.
Yeah.
And so when she got a job at I forget what it is, she's like, how do I open a bank account?
Oh my
And I
gosh.
called my mom and I said, Mom, like, I want you to meet my mentee and like I want you to walk us through opening a bank account and like where
Yeah.
should she go and like how should and like my parents have like helped her with this and like they haven't met her actually, but my grandma has talked to her like whenever she called me and I was in the car with my grandma one time and like so like it was really cool. Like she's from Guatemala and so, I don't know, it was just really nice, and when she called me, she's like, "I got my green
Really
card." I
cool.
was like, "I
Oh my
can't relate to that
gosh.
experience because I was born here, but, like, I'm
Yeah.
so happy for you." And so, like, that was, like, my between blogging and being involved in the community, like, I wasn't part of the popular crowd, I wasn't friends with everybody in law school. I mean, everybody knew me.
Yeah.
I was infamous, but I wasn't popular. But yeah, that's really, like, all of that was propelled me. I was like, "Okay, I don't have to do the big law thing." Like,
Yeah.
this trademark thing sounds cool. Like, I'm getting brand partnerships because I'm starting to talk about my law school experience on my blog and Instagram. And like
Yeah.
people are asking questions like,
And
let
you
me
were
lean
learning,
into
what
this.
I'm hearing is you were learning how to build these strategic relationships and partnerships, obviously to propel your career forward, but also just people that you liked. You know, you liked the professor, you as a human being, you liked the dean, and they were willing to help you because
Yeah,
you built that relationship with them, which honestly is the most important thing in my opinion. Grades are not as important as
100%.
that. It's about the people that you know, the people that are in your corner, and people that you genuinely can form a connection with. Not just like I want something from you, you know.
100%. And
That's
so that was
amazing.
actually Professor Hemingway. Like so Eric, I call Eric because when we were in clinic, he was our boss. So he's like, you are the attorney, the student attorney, and I'm your
Mm,
boss. So like it's a little bit like more informal in that sense.
yeah, yeah.
But like Hemingway, I still feel weird calling Joan. Like I call her Yoga Joan to be funny, but like to her
Yeah.
face, I still say Hemingway.
Yeah.
But she did run the Institute for Professional Leadership at the time.
Mm,
And she was like, I want you to write a blog post and I want you to talk about whatever you feel called to talk about. And I talked about networking, how to network, and what the power of networking
mm,
was.
mhm.
Because, like you said, the strategic partnerships. And again, I don't have lawyers in my family, but my dad works with a lot of attorneys by the type
Yeah.
of banking and finance that he does.
Mhm.
For a lot of it is commercial loan workouts and bankruptcy. So there's a lot of attorneys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so anytime there was an event, I would tag along or I would go to dinner.
So
And so like
smart.
I worked at a law firm prior to going to law school through what my like I did bankruptcy like as a law clerk
Mm,
for
very
6
cool.
months between college and law school through my dad.
Yeah.
And so he was like, you are a connector. You're really good at networking and
Which is such
fostering
a
connections.
valuable skill.
And so that's what I wrote about. I wrote
Yeah.
about networking and how I literally, it is online. You can find my pitch template of how to cold email or cold LinkedIn
Mm,
somebody and ask to get virtual coffee with someone or
Love it.
in-person coffee if like you're in the same town. But it
Yeah.
was COVID, so like virtual coffee.
Yeah.
But like also now the cool thing is through virtual coffee, you can get coffee with anybody. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter
You
where
can
they're
meet
at.
someone in anywhere in the country or the
Yeah.
world. So
So
cool.
that was the strategic partnership thing like that.
Yeah.
The career that I have is because of that.
Yeah. And tell us, so how did you get into the influencer space? I'm so curious about this.
Just through blogging, and then I started like I really don't consider myself an influencer up until I was already in law school and it was COVID and everyone was sharing like it wasn't curated anymore. Everyone was saying sweatpants and like their coffee and their
everyone wants to see what's really going on now.
I was like, okay, cool, because before it was like super like fancy and like pretty and like I was like, I'm in school all day.
Yeah.
Like,
and people were craving, like they wanted connection.
I don't have anything to share.
Yeah.
So now I could. I was home, Zoom School of Law.
Yeah.
Like I had a lot more free time, really.
Yeah.
And so I started sharing more about my outfits and what I'm wearing that day and like my makeup and my hair and like where I'm getting coffee and all of this stuff. And I started sharing it. And it was my mom's suggestion. My mom still quite doesn't understand what I do. But she does more so now, like that's been years.
Yeah. It's such a new concept,
she also,
you know?
If you tell her business terms, she gets it. If it's not in business terms, she doesn't understand. So now that it's a business, she gets it more. But she was like, you know, you keep writing all these really good blog posts, but like you should cross promote them on like your Instagram story, like or post on your feed saying like I wrote a new blog post about this, go read it.
Your parents are really smart. I see where you get it from. They're very savvy.
Yeah, my mom is not book smart at all. She's street smart.
Yeah.
My dad is a little bit of both, but my dad is the curiosity aspect, so I have that.
Yeah.
And I have my mom's like no nonsense, no bullshit, like she wants something, go get it attitude, and if she doesn't want something, she doesn't do anything. Like she just like I don't want it. So I'm like really good about that. Like if it doesn't feel right to me, I'm like no, I'm good. And I get that from her.
It's good that you have that early in your career because it took me a long time to learn that.
Yeah, I get that from her. But it was her that she's like, you should start posting it. And so little by little, other law students or people wanting to go to law school started following me. And so I kind of became like a law school blogger. But like I didn't want to be just a law school blogger because I never wanted to be just a lawyer. Yeah. So I still did the fashion and travel and beauty when we could travel again. And, you know, if there was something going on in the world, I talked about it if it was important to me. And I started connecting with these people who were following me. And that's really how I became an influencer. And I haven't worked with a lot of brands, but a few brands would reach out to me every once in a while. And like I would get contracts. And I knew that I could negotiate them. Yeah. Because I was in law school. And I remember having a big deal. It was a $1,500 deal. It's my biggest one. And I remember going to Eric because I was in clinic at this point, and I said, hey, I got this contract for this brand partnership. Could you help me review it? Like, I want you to look at it, like, be my lawyer and, like, review it for me. How I thought I knew to do that because I was in law school. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't.
Right. And most people who are content creators, influencers, they don't ever think about the legal side unless something goes wrong.
Yeah. So he was like, yeah, I'll help you review it. So we, like, redlined it and back and forth. He's like, you should talk about this, like fix this, da-da-da-da. And so I did it and it worked out. And then I was like, we were brainstorming my paper. Like, what was I going to talk about? Yeah. And I was like, I remember walking into his office one day. It was a Tuesday afternoon. 3:30 was our meeting. And I walk in buzzing. I was like, I have this really crazy idea. He was like, what? And I was like, okay, hear me out for a second. But I would love to be like combine social media and law. Like you know how you helped me read my contract? Like, what if I was that for influencers? Because I am an influencer, but I'm also gonna be a lawyer. And mind you, I was a 2L, I was 22, and I was like, I'm gonna be a lawyer and I wanna do this. And he was like, no, I don't think that's crazy.
So another time that someone was like, I support you. I think that's a good idea. Because how many times do people say like, oh, are you sure? I don't know. No one else is doing that. And then sometimes people just stop there. All the time. And usually it's people having your best interest at heart, but they just are scared. So it's amazing that he did that. Yeah. That moment was huge, pivotal. Yeah. Maybe you still would have went and done it, but having someone.
No, I don't think I you know, honestly, if he hadn't, I
Yeah.
was working at an insurance firm.
So totally different.
I was doing personal injury and first party property insurance.
Totally different.
I would have done that.
Yeah.
Even if I wouldn't have been happy.
Mm.
And like I probably would have, like, again, through my dad, I would have gotten a job at a firm.
Yeah.
Doing bankruptcy probably.
Yeah. Where did you find the confidence to go off on your own? I mean, obviously you were already you were gaining the experience in law school, which is great, and even before law school. But where did you find the confidence?
So
'cause it took me a lot longer to find it. Like 12 years.
It's delusion, which is funny because it's a trend right now. But no, like it was straight up just delusion. And again, like with my mom, like it's funny because I have my insecurities. We all do.
We all do.
But
it's what we do with them and how we work with them and work to overcome them.
I've always been very outspoken. Even if I'm wrong, I like defend it to the death. So I just like come across very confident, and it's the way I carry myself. And I was a dancer. The poise, the discipline, not slouching, like chin up. My mom always in photos, chin up, chin up, chin up. And so like it kind of like I think like ingrained itself in my brain.
I'm taking a lot of notes on your parents because this is a lot of how I want to be as a parent for my little boys.
I mean, there's some not so great parenting moments in there
as well. Of course. There's always going to be the good and the bad.
But no, honestly, now that I'm a little bit closer to that and wanting that as well myself, I'm like, no, I'm really lucky. And like my parents did really, really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like this, like, I remember, so going back to the, like, if do you want a daughter or a lawyer, like I had faced a really dark time already. A couple of times. But that was the one that truly scared me, and it scared my best friend in law school. I will never forget, he's not one to pick up the phone. Like, you have to call, text 100 times. He's busy. He's watching sports. He's with his friends. He's studying. Like, he's not on his phone. He's not. And I guess I must have really scared him one night. And the next day, he, like, calls me. He was like, we're going to brunch at 11 o'clock. Be ready. I don't know if, like, he's like, I don't know if you're hearing this. I don't know what's going on, but, like, I don't do anything. We're going to brunch. And he sat me down. And this was the second time. He's only told me I love you twice. The first time was fall, my first semester, October, literally 4 years ago, around now. And he said, because we were talking, and then we realized, like, no, we're better off as friends. Yeah. So he was like, he turns to me, he was walking to my car, he grabs my shoulders in the hall, on the street, and he's like, I love you, but, like, I can't handle this right now, like, but, like, I'm always here for you, I love you.
Oh, wow. It was too much for him.
It was too much for him, but he's like, but I'm still here for you, and I still want to be here, but I can't be here that way.
Yeah.
And I was hurt, but I was like, okay, I understand.
Yeah.
And, like, after a few weeks, we, like, shook it off. We were good. And then this time, a year and a half later, he was like, I know you think that no one wants you here. Because everybody kind of already, like, knew that I wasn't going big law. And, like, everybody found out about my blog. I didn't keep it secret, but I didn't tell it people either. Yeah. People had found out about it. And, high school drama. And so
silly.
And there was boy drama. And, like, it was
There's
dumb.
a lot of. I remember there was more drama.
With more expensive books.
Yeah, in law school there was more drama than college. In my law school, I'm like, what is going on?
No,
we're
bad.
Regressing.
No,
like, what is happening?
It was so bad. I can tell you so many stories about that. But he was like, I know you think that other people don't want you here, and maybe they don't, but I want you here.
Yeah.
I love you. I want you here. And I was like, you never answer the phone. How do I know that? He was like, but I'm here now, aren't I? Like, I want you here. He just kept repeating, like, I want you here. And so it was, like, those, like, little moments of someone else believing me. Like, I always believed in myself, but I really struggled with the fact that it seemed like nobody else did.
Yeah.
And so, like, it was just, like, this delusion of, like, I've seen some shit. I've been through shit, but I'm still here. There's a reason why I'm still here. This is where all that starts happening for me. Of, like, I'm going to be unapologetically myself.
Yeah.
And, like, you don't have to like me. I don't need you.
Yeah.
But if you want to be in my life, I will love you hard.
I think that's a very healthy way to approach it. And besides yoga, what other things helped you to kind of get through that time, that really hard time in law school, which I know so many people who are listening go through too.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't even that consistent with yoga. Like, I would go once a week, like, and sometimes I would miss a week because, like, studying or finals or whatever.
Yeah. But it
Um,
is amazing even
but just,
occasional yoga or meditation
yeah,
can help so much.
to completely, I can remember vividly up until then, but from there to like graduation, like, I really don't know. Like, it just like,
Mm,
the first half was so transformative that like from then on it was just like adrenaline, and I got through it because I knew I needed to graduate to get to where I wanted to be, so I just
yeah.
buckled down and did it.
Yeah.
And I was working, and so this is where that exercise that I've told you about was happening, and like vision boards starting to kind of become popular at this time. Like, mind you, we're like it's 2021. COVID, like, we're finally coming out of COVID, and like everyone's going to life again, and like so many new companies are being formed. People were quitting jobs left and right, and like everyone's like figuring
Yeah.
out who they are and what they want.
It's been such a time of transformation for so many
And it was
people.
for me too. And
It was a rough time, but it was
yeah,
also it cultivated this
yeah. And I remember
unique environment.
it was around then, and I remember I was like, I'm 23 now. Where do I want my life to be in 10 years? How do I want my life to look? How do I want it to feel?
Mm,
Where do I live? Who am I with? What am I doing?
mhm.
What are my hobbies? Do I have kids? What do they do? Are they in soccer? Are they in dance? What does my house look like? Where do I vacation? Like, I started
Yeah.
getting really, really clear on like 33, what am I doing? Who am I? Where am I at? What does my husband look like? What does he do? Like, not again, not that these are like by this age I have to be this. And it wasn't that. It was more so of like manifesting, vision
Yeah.
boarding, and
Creating a
like,
vision for your life. And even if those exact things don't happen, it's
yes.
starting to put the wheels in place for the life that you want.
Yeah,
And this shit works. Like it works. I look back every year
it
and I'm like,
works.
oh my
No,
God,
so
all the
that
things
was
I wanted are
3 years
happening
ago.
or better.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah,
I'm turning 26 next month. I was 23. It works.
it does.
I have 7 years now until I'm 33, and like, there's still so much that I haven't done that was on that plan, but a lot of things that I didn't even know about at the
Yeah.
time. Like,
I have
if
a
you
lot
would
of
have told me a year ago that I would start a firm, I would have said you're crazy.
it's amazing.
But that
I
was
have
it.
theories. I think some of it's just practical. It's once you know where you're going, then you can take those
I
steps and
reverse
you
engineered
feel
my life.
confident. Yeah, you reverse engineer. And then I do believe a lot of it is putting it out into the universe, putting out that energy, telling the universe what you want and matching its energy. I
Yes.
can go real woo woo and I can go real practical because we're
It's
attorneys, we're
both.
analytical,
But
but
it's
it's both.
both.
It's
It's
both.
both.
You still have to take the steps. You can't just
Yes.
lay on your couch and be like, I
Yes, but
manifest it
okay,
all.
that drives me nuts when people are like, I'm just gonna pray and like it's gonna like, yes, that's you have to do that too,
Yeah.
but you also have to do something about
Right.
it.
Inspired action. You have to take the
Yes.
action in your life to make it happen. It's not just the
Like,
woo
what's
woo
the Blair
part.
Waldorf quote where she's like, I don't know what it is, but she's like, we're not the type of people who just like sit around and make it happen, like,
Yeah.
or wait around for it to happen, like we
Yeah.
make
You
it
make it
happen.
happen. Yeah.
And that's my mom, that's my dad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they came from nothing. And they have built all of this on their own. And we talk very openly now about money and finances and everything in our family. Like, we know where the wills are. We know what we're getting.
Oh,
We know
no one
all
does. That's amazing that you do. That's
we know
amazing that
all
you
of that.
have those conversations.
And and as we're starting to build generational wealth, now that we're able to do that, we're and I'm gonna multiply it, and my
Yeah.
brother's gonna hopefully also multiply it. He's a little younger, but like, he can and he
Yeah.
wants to. And so we have those conversations, and it was like, I got very, very clear on like that, like how are knowing that it has to be someone who can fit into that, who also has those ambitions, and
Hmm.
like is going to allow me to do all those things.
Yeah. That
And
goes to the practical. It's like, are you going to, we're talking like romantic relationships. Are you going to put yourself in a relationship that isn't achieving where you want to go? Like if they're not fitting it, then it's like,
oh,
then
that's a
no.
whole nother podcast, but we can get into
Yeah.
that later. But
Well, I think this leads to like really good into my next question. How have your views towards money and wealth changed from law school to now? And what was the biggest mindset shift? I feel like that question fits in perfectly here.
hmm. So I remember actually this one day. I forget what year I was. Could have been, might have been 2 or 3L. Probably because it was related to like you guys are gonna be making a lot of money when you graduate and have big law jobs. So they brought in someone from I don't know if it was Charles Schwab or one of those, like one of those investment
Your law
firms.
school did that.
Yeah.
Wow, your law school did a lot more than mine did as far as like planning for your life and career.
I think they could have done a whole lot more, but it was a good start.
It was a good start because mine didn't do anything like
No,
that.
absolutely, it was a really good start. And actually, one more thing about the mental health aspect that they did that I think is really cool that I would love to go back and do with more schools. And it's something that Hemingway and I have talked about, and Eric and I have talked about as well. But they brought in this woman from, I want to say it was Charles Schwab or I don't know, one of those. And she showed us like an amortization chart and like
Mm.
how much you can invest now and what it'll be like in 10 years and like helping them like
So eye-opening when you just see it's so simple, but
yes.
until you see it, you don't realize
And
the
like
magic of it.
and all of these things, like I remember seeing that in her presentation and like talking about 401k and like retirement planning and like how much you can invest and what you'll get and like learning about stocks and like mind you, we had learned about stocks in like business associations, but not like
Yeah.
us owning stock, like
Right, right.
ourselves and like us and private investments, not just doing it for our clients. And like
Yeah.
so that kind of thing
And
was
once you make it easy, you realize it's not that complicated.
but
It
everything
really
that she
isn't.
said, I remember calling my dad afterwards and being like, this happened today. And like everything she said, I knew because of conversations you
Because
and I
of
have had.
wow.
And I remember I got a job at 16 and the I had to pay all I had to pay was gas. But I got a credit card. I got a student credit card, this Capital One Journey,
Mm,
which is I now have the venture, but it's the same like account.
okay. So you
Um
were able to start building credit
I
really
at
young.
16 my mom was
Yeah.
like so my cousins have credit cards under tied to my aunt. My mom, we're not tied. It's our own. We started with
Yeah, it's
zero.
so smart.
And my brother has a better credit score and higher credit limit because he has less loans. And I'm like,
Mm.
this is rude. You don't use the 20K limit that you have. I mean, I don't even use the 10K limit. So like,
Yeah,
why do you need 20? Anyway,
right.
my mom
Hopefully
and I
doesn't use
talked about this yesterday.
it.
I was really salty about it, but I found that out because my brother was like, can you use your credit card? I said, no, you have a higher credit limit. Like you bragged about it. Now you can use it. Anyway, but I was 16, I got a credit card. And like every month they would tell me like, okay, how much did you spend a month? Pay it off
Mm,
before you can. And so I got in the habit of doing that. And before I went to law school, so I had to, so even before that, college was paid for. The deal was we will pay for undergrad. You have a 529 plan and you have Florida by Futures. I got 75%. And I applied for scholarships and I didn't really get any other ones. But we will pay the difference.
mm.
College is free. They paid for my sorority. I worked in college some parts of it. Like I was an intern for a senator, so like I didn't make any money doing that. I was a hostess at one point, and I didn't work my whole first year because of the transition. And they took that on themselves. They paid my
Mm.
rent the whole time, all of that.
Yeah, that's
But they
amazing.
said, but like I paid my groceries. They gave me a budget, and then once I started working, they took away that. Oh, I only got $30 a week instead of like the $300 a week that they were giving me the first 2 years
Mm.
because I was working.
Yeah.
And it was $10 an hour. Like it wasn't anything crazy, but like they taught me how to do it. And so like they
Yeah.
paid rent, which was $650 a month, which is unheard of.
Oh my gosh, I know.
I was like I think it was like 700 with like utilities and stuff.
Can't get that anywhere now.
No.
Not in South Florida.
No. Not even in Orlando where this
You,
was.
yeah.
But like I had to pay groceries now and I've always paid my gas. And I only got $30 a week allowance at that time. But they said like we'll pay for undergrad, but if either of you want to go to grad school, it's on you. You will be taking out loans. So when I got into law school, I chose Tennessee because they gave me a fee waiver. Well, so I applied because they gave me a fee waiver. Like my legal studies department brought
Mm.
a group of schools in to do like a private tour or a private
Okay.
fair.
What's a fee waiver?
So it was free for me to apply
Okay.
to law school.
Okay.
And out of the schools that I applied to, I got waitlisted at UM, then I got in. I got waitlisted at FIU, I got waitlisted at Baylor, waitlisted at Wake Forest, denied from everywhere else. I got into Stetson, and I got into University of Tennessee. Stetson and Tennessee gave me the biggest scholarships. I only truly got into 3 schools. I could have made a phone call at FIU and gotten in, but I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to go to school and be able to walk home. Like, I need to not be home for
Yeah,
school.
do something
So
different.
that's why I didn't go to UM and I didn't go to FIU. Wake Forest wasn't going to tell me anything until June. Too late. I didn't want to wait.
Yeah.
And Baylor, same thing. So I was like, all right, Stetson or Tennessee. And Tennessee gave me the most money. I
Nice.
visited the school. I met, she's my best friend to this day. Fellow Florida girl. She's Black, also a minority. And, like, we hit it off. Like, at Admitted Student Day, she gave me my tour, and we were laughing.
She was already a student there?
Yeah, she was a 3. She was 2L then, gonna be a 3L. So I only had her for 1 year, and not even because COVID, but like she's like we're going to homecoming together. She's my best friend, and so we like were giggling the entire time. I'm like, oh, like I like you. Like if I come back here, like we're gonna be best friends, and it did. But that's how I got there. Like they gave me the most money, so that's why I went. But I still have to take out loans. So my parents sat me down. They're like, okay, now that you have, so you worked, I was working a $20 hour job for 6 months. So I had got a taste of now money.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, you're going to have to scale that back because you're not going to make any money. But like, let's budget and let's create a budget. How much are your monthly expenses?
So your parents sit down and actually did that with you?
Oh, I have a Excel budget spreadsheet.
That's awesome.
And I literally, board of directors meeting last week, I said, I hate you guys because now I use Excel for everything. And I don't even know how to use Excel.
I do too. That's my byproduct of working at Deloitte for 1 year.
I was like, I don't even know how to do this, but like...
I love this board of directors thing. I'm stealing that too. I'm stealing so much from your parents. I'm like, this is great.
Well, that was me. I jokingly called them that. Like, that was... But like, we just would always have business meetings.
Yeah.
They get home from work and they tell each other about their day. They know about their coworkers. They know what's going on. They know about the projects. They know everything that they're doing in each other's lives. So like... Now that I'm also working, they ask me and I bring up things. So like that's kind of how it becomes like everybody talks about their day and what they're doing. And if my brother's home or like he has something going on, like he also contributes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we set a budget and my expenses, what they were, and he's like, okay, so how much times 9 months plus a little bit less for the 12 months, so it was extra 3 because you'll be working in the summer. How much you need to borrow.
You did this before law school?
Before law school.
Wow.
And when I was home after 1L year, or 1L fall, we did it again. And after, in the summer when I was working, after I had been working, I saved up money from my job, then we did it again for 2L year. And so I knew how much I needed to borrow, and I borrowed only as much as I needed, not maximum. I did not lump sum borrow or anything like that. So I actually I only borrowed, so I took out the 3 federal loans that you get from the school that the school gives you from the government, and I took out 2 private loans. I didn't need to take out a loan 3L year.
Wow.
Because I had saved up enough and I was working already that year that I was able to cover my monthly expenses, and still, I was only saving maybe $150 a month, but like, that's fine.
That's amazing. So between scholarship, budgeting, and then saving, you should be in pretty good shape then with student loans, because I know I have a lot of friends who have like 200,000,
No,
250.
so I'll be super transparent. I only had 86,600.
Yeah, that's really good.
For 3 years of law school, and I'm down to 80.
Nice.
Because I use my rent payment.
Yeah.
Because I live at home and don't pay rent.
Yeah.
I've been paying that towards my loans.
That's great. And that's manageable. I mean, it's still a lot of money, obviously, but it's manageable.
But what I've been doing is I'm paying.
Especially as you make lots of money in your law firm.
And also as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I talk about this with my friends a lot. And, like, they joke, like, first of the month they're paying rent. I'm like, I'm paying my loans. Like, I'm doing it too. No, but
that's smart.
But I pay the high interest at first, which is the private ones. I'm not touching the federal ones. I did the income-based repayment plan. I'm not due to pay that for a year.
Yeah.
But I will, once I clear my private loans, I will start using that rent money towards 401k and my Roth IRA.
Yeah.
And then anything additional that I have outside of my saving goals a month, I will now put towards the private ones and start lump summing when I can. Hopefully get rid of that sooner.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, I know you can buy a house with student loan debt, like they factor that in, but if I could minimize that and put down more than the FHA loan, and, you know,
Yeah.
comfortably cover my closing costs and like all of that stuff. Like, and like my aunt's a broker, so like I've also had a lot of those conversations with her.
Yeah, that's helpful.
And like, so I'm very lucky that my family is very open to these conversations, and we're very transparent with money, and like,
yeah, that's huge.
there's no hiding the ball. Like, I know what my parents' net worth is.
Yeah,
Like,
that's huge because you are going to be able to already and in the future avoid so many of those struggles of people trying to figure it out because you've already had someone help you,
yes.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
But it also sounds like they didn't just like hand it to you on
No.
a silver platter. They're like, make your budget, do your thing,
No, and even if they did give me money, they, like, not that I had to pay it back, but like,
yeah, but they helped you to understand the value of it. They
yes.
weren't just like throwing money at you, which
Never.
you don't learn anything from
like,
that.
I had an allowance, but
Yeah.
like, it wasn't.
But
like,
you were earning it. You were
but
doing
I was
things.
earning it.
Yeah.
I've worked since I was
Yeah.
16 years old.
Yeah.
With the exception of my first year of college and my first year of law school, I have
Yeah.
worked every single year for 10 years.
Yeah.
And so the way my relationship with it has changed now is, it's like almost bad how like excited I am to like log into my Excel every day, and like not every day, but like weekly, and be like, how much did I make this month?
Yeah.
Where are my expenses going? Like, it's like
Yeah.
a game. It's like almost a game, and I'm like, no, this is not Monopoly money, but like,
but
I
it's
get
fun,
so
and it's you
excited.
have a good relationship with money. The
Yes.
way that you like when you open a bank account or you open your Excel spreadsheet, whatever it is, and you look at that money, if you look at it and you're anxious and you're mad at it and you're like,
No.
I don't have enough of you, I hate you, like this sucks, like how are you going to make more? How are you going to draw in more money?
Yes.
And again, that's somewhat woo-woo, but it's also practical.
No,
if you're
it's
just
a
mad at
mindset.
money, then you're not going to be thinking creatively and abundantly.
Yeah.
And how can I
Yeah.
create new streams of income? What else can I do? You know, what other ventures can I start? Like your
Yeah.
podcast. I want to hear about the podcast too, which we didn't even
Yeah.
like talk about. There's so many things. I feel
Well,
like we
so-
could literally talk for 4 hours.
So it's funny, like
No
with
lie.
the money thing, like I got one of my management clients just got the biggest partnership she's ever had. And she's like, I've been working with you for 2 years. Like, thank you. Like, this is why, like,
That's amazing.
and she works at a Big Four. Like, this is a side job for her.
So cool.
She doesn't need this, but the fact that she's like, I'm able to do this because of you.
Yeah.
And like, we'll talk about that, but like, all of my clients work somewhere else or are students. Like, they're all,
Yeah.
content creation is a side hustle for them
Yeah.
that now makes them money, and it's their passion projects. And I strategically pick those because they are a lot like me in that sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, when that check came in, well, it's still clearing. It hasn't even cleared the bank because it's like so much. My bank is like, wow.
Amazing.
But I remember texting my parents, and I was like, I have a group chat with my parents. I have a group chat with my brother, and I have a group chat with like the girls in the family. Like, we have a lot of group chats. And I texted my parents' group chat, and I said, guys, I've never seen so much money in my bank. That's a lie. My savings is, but like, that's my savings.
But just coming in and
That's
it's like
my savings.
hitting.
Like, that's not.
Yeah.
It's mine, but it's not mine. Like,
Right.
I don't think of it as mine, you know.
Yeah.
But this is like, I mean, I have to pay her, and then I get to keep my 20%. But like, oh my God, I've never seen. And they're like,
That's
oh my God, how much?
amazing.
I'm excited. Like, I want, and they're like excited
Aw.
about it. And when I told them, like, I screamed when we agreed, like, email, like, all right, now send me the contract. I screamed, and I remember, and my parents like, what just happened? My mom wasn't home, and I was like, guys, like, I just got, and like, so now they're like, my mom's like, ooh, money. I'm not gonna, I want to talk about money. How much money is in your bank account? Like, they ask me, they want to know, and it's not like a give me money. It's like,
Yeah.
actually, my mom borrows money from us and then pays us back with interest.
That's amazing. That's
Literally,
amazing.
my mom was like, hey, the other day, I'll be transparent. She goes, can I borrow $7,000? And I was like, for what? She goes, I need to do this. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But like, when are you paying it back? She said, I can give it back to you in like 10 days, and I'll give you $100 of interest. So I
You're
made
like,
$100.
done. Yeah, done deal.
I made, I think it was like $500 because she owed me $500 for something else. So I was like, I made like $500 that day.
That's amazing.
I was like,
it's a good day.
I'll take it. My dad is like, you guys
I love
are
it.
ridiculous. Like, you guys think it's Monopoly money, but it's
I
not,
love it.
but it is.
Are there any books that you really love about money or that your parents have shared with you or that have helped you in your personal finance journey?
So this is funny. I love to read, but I only read fiction. I
Mm.
only read like I say Y2K, YA romance novels. Like, I read like escapism.
Yeah.
Like, I am not reading self-help books.
I feel you. I'm in a very fiction phase of my life right now. I go through phases. And right now it's fiction.
I wish I could, but like, I just read like Business Insider or Bloomberg. My dad watches
Yeah.
Bloomberg all day long, so I like watch Bloomberg with
Yeah,
him.
I heard you say that on one of your episodes that he watches it during lunch. I'm like, that's a really good idea. I like
I
that.
Also, their interface is so stressful to look at. There's so much going on that
You're like,
screen. I'm
what
like,
is happening?
where do I look?
I know. I was on a call with a financial advisor once and it was like in the background and I'm like, this is a lot. Can we turn that off? I can't focus on you right now.
I'm like the
Trying to talk to
flashing, and
you.
I'm like, what is breaking news? I'm like, what is happening in the world?
Yeah,
But
news is intense. It's a
so
cortisol spike for sure. I'm
no,
like, I can't
that's
watch
why I'm like,
this.
are you okay? Like, sir, like, do you need like he mutes it when he has a phone call, and then the minute it's off, he turns. I'm like,
You're addicted.
breathe,
You're
breathe.
addicted.
No, so he wants me to read Think and Grow Rich, like Napoleon Hill, like
so
always.
good. It's so good.
Um,
It's so basic,
yeah,
but people don't
Outlier.
know it.
He wants me to read
Oh, I
Outlier.
haven't read that one yet.
His
Outlier.
favorite book is Catcher in the Rye, and I have not read that. I never read it in high school. Or To Kill a Mockingbird. I don't know what my school was doing. Like the two most important like high school books,
That's
and
so
I
funny.
didn't read that. I don't know. I read Wuthering Heights. Like, not that I learned anything from that. Or like The Death of a Salesman. Like, why did we read that?
I don't know. It's just so
But I'm
boring.
right now. So Art of War, and
that's a good one.
I'm right now trying to read 48 Laws of Power.
Oh, I haven't read that one. So
It's on my
Outlier,
nightstand.
48 Laws of Power. Okay, I'm adding.
It's
I'm
on my
adding them to
nightstand
my list.
to read. I've gotten like 2 chapters in, and he every couple weeks he was like, "So how far? I'm like, "I haven't. Sorry."
Yeah.
He's like,
I have business books on my nightstand that have not been touched, like about my law firm and how to manage it. And then I have The Housemaid and the sequel, which are really good, by the way. Like they're like thriller books. I'm like, I'm gonna
wanna
pick
read
that one up.
The Spy Who Wore Red. Like that's like my like it's on my.
Mm.
But I have a couple. Like actually, I have them on my notes. Let's see what I want to read.
Have you read A Court of Thorns and Roses yet?
No, I keep seeing.
Oh my
it
gosh,
everywhere.
it's so good. I did
Um,
not think it would be my genre because it's like kind of like fantasy fairy
Yeah,
like,
I
and I'm
don't.
like,
To be honest, I don't think I'll like it. So that's why
I didn't think I would either. But my book club, everyone was like, you have to read it, and so I'm obsessed.
So on my list, Big Magic is also on my list.
I haven't read that
Jay
yet.
Shetty's The 8 Rules of Love.
I love Jay Shetty.
Atomic Habits is on my list.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So there's a lot I want to read. I just if I like I read contracts all day. So if I'm gonna read for fun, I want
know.
it to
I feel
be
you. I feel
not
you.
work
I
or
know.
like business or like self-help. I'm also a talk. Like I want to have a mentor
Yeah.
or be a
'Cause
mentor.
it helps you to kind of think things through
I
and get
process
those
it.
ideas.
I get to reflect on how far I've come when I'm
Yeah.
helping someone, or I get to learn, and like so I get my best like education in that sense
Mhm.
through mentorship and
Yeah.
connection. Again,
Yeah.
that to me is how I learn more so than reading in a book,
Yeah.
because then it's like, yes, it's there's some of them are very very helpful and very great, but you still have to implement them.
Yep.
Whereas I want to know how you implemented it,
Mhm.
not what you did. I want to know
Yeah.
the behind the scenes, the ups and downs, what
It's
really didn't work, because it's individual.
Yeah, it's so funny you say that because my law partner and I, Kristen, were having that conversation earlier. She's like, I love when people say, I did this and I did like I got to these places, but she's like, but how? I want to know how you did
Yeah.
it. How do I do that? It's not just the what you did. It's
Yes.
how you got there.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting to the end here. I have one more question for you. Where can guests find out more about you? All the socials, your podcasts. I know
Yes.
everyone's going to want to follow you if they're not already.
Yes. Kayla Moran. It's Kayla with 3 A's and Moran with 2 N's. Okay, I'm really annoyed by this. There's a girl, her name is also Kayla Moran, and she doesn't use it.
Oh my gosh, you're like, can I have it, please?
I've emailed her or DM'd her, and she won't. I'm like, I will buy it,
Yeah.
and she won't answer. She literally doesn't use the account. She doesn't go on it.
Oh my gosh.
It's like
That's so annoying.
2017. There's nothing on there.
2017?
Yeah.
Oh my
So I'm
God,
like,
you're
because it's like I always have to explain. It's like 3 A's, 2 N's. But if you look me up, Kayla Moran. Everything I do is linked on there. Podcast has its own account. Law firm has its own account. Management company has its own account. And I have a blog, kaylamoranblog.com. And everything is really interconnected on there.
Yeah. We were talking, I think this was before we started recording, how you have different ventures, but they're all so interconnected. They complement each other. I mean, obviously, you have a law firm where you work with creators and you yourself are a creator, so you know how it works from the legal side and from the actual like content creation influencer side. The podcast is amazing. If you haven't listened, definitely check it out. You have so many cool guests on there, and I love how
Yes.
you talk about your life and you just make it like very fun and like approachable and honest.
Yeah.
It's really, I enjoy listening to it. I've been
Thank
listening
you.
to it a lot. I'm like,
So
this
my
is really
dad
good. I love it.
Thank you. My dad is the first person to listen to any of my episodes. He listens to them in the car on the way
Oh,
to work, and he's like,
Dad.
he will always be like, "Oh, I like this person you had on. Like, do you know her? How do you know this person?" And I'm
So
like,
cool.
"I got to have lunch with this person the other day, or like whatever." So yeah, that's my goal with the podcast. Always is to like. I'll tell you how the name came about. Which Brady, my law school best friend, who has only told me he loves me twice, was instrumental in this. Um, but the whole goal of the podcast was always to have like I was noticing that I kept having these really cool mentorship connection calls because
Yeah.
I went through a phase of like, well, LinkedIn is still my favorite social media platform, truly.
Really? Really?
And I have it on my to-do list today to do a TikTok on how LinkedIn is underutilized in law school.
Mm,
But I went through a phase for a while, 2L, 3L year, of just every day I would spend an hour or like at least 30 minutes on LinkedIn going through my post, liking them, commenting, connecting with people, and setting up calls.
mm,
And that's where the pitch email came and I like perfected it.
yeah.
And I was like, I'm getting to have all these really cool conversations, but like nobody else is getting the benefit. Like, I want to start sharing them. Podcasters, I was listening to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
So I was like, how do I start a podcast? Like, I didn't know about it, but my friend did. And my friend had a podcast and she had a podcast network. So I was like, okay, she's like really knows what she's talking about. And she's like, it's cheap, like it's free. Like literally all you have to do is this. And so I didn't tell anybody, but I started a podcast. I created the Canva logo. I did a photo shoot for the podcast in April, but like for the first year and a half, it was just like the Canva logo. And I had the idea in like the fall 3 or summer 3. I remember it was like August 2021 is I had the idea. And for 2 months, it would keep me up at night of like,
Mm,
I know I need to start this because
yeah.
I know I need to share these conversations. And I had a list of people I wanted to have on, but I was like, I don't have a name. Like, how am I going to do this? Once I
Yeah.
found out how to do it, my questions were, what am I going to call it? And what am I going to do when I have to take 3 months off for the bar exam?
Yeah.
And I told my parents about the idea one time. There's still no name. And they're like, no, I think this is a really great idea. Like, I think you should pursue this. But my question is bar exam. What's going to happen then? And I said, I'm
Yeah.
going to batch record during spring break. And maybe I'll get an editor at that time to handle those episodes. All I have to do is like my hour break, like after dinner break, would be doing
Mm-hmm.
the intros that week.
Yeah.
And that way, like, it's not so unmanageable. And
Smart.
so that is how I ended up doing it. I still have my editor today, and like she is the love of my life.
Mm,
I love her. She's the best. She lives in Canada. She created her own freelance agency
I love it.
doing podcast and video editing, and she's the best. Um, but the name, so every for like 2 months, I could not sleep. I would wake up and I'd be like, oh, I want to have this conversation. I want to talk to this person. Let's do this. And I just like, what am I gonna call it? And like I knew the vibe I wanted it. I wanted it to be like that phone call, like fly on the wall into this really cool conversation about things that maybe you don't know how to have that conversation or who to reach out or how to reach out to somebody. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have those conversations and you get to listen on to them. And so like I didn't have like I'm only gonna have women because there has been men, mostly women, but there is men. I talk a little bit of everything.
Yeah. You have a
And I'm not
really
afraid
good
to talk
array of
about
topics.
my own experiences in my own life. Like the beginning is always my life update, and then
Yeah.
I jump into the episode. And the word candid came to me, but I still didn't know what I was going to do with it. And I remember one day, it was a Monday night, and I texted Brady, and I was like, "Are you going to be at school tomorrow? Like, what time are you going to be at school? I need to talk to you." Because we didn't have classes together anymore. So, like, I really didn't see him as much. And I was like, "Are you going to be at school tomorrow? What time? Where are you going to be?" And as I'm texting, he didn't answer. So, in the morning, it was like, why I was at school at 8 a.m. Can't tell you. I was going up the stairs, and right when you turn in the library, it was the reading room, and he was right there. So I'm turning upstairs, and as I'm texting him, like, hey, are you here? Because ends up saying yes. I was like, I asked 5 questions. Yes answers 0. said, "Where are you? Are you here?" And I look up and he's staring at me. And I was like, "Oh, perfect. I have a question for you." He's like, "What? I have 5 minutes." I was like, because he was taking antitrust. So he was like, "I'm busy." And I was like, "I really want, like, I want to start a podcast." And I was like, "Oh, you'd be good at that." I was like, "Okay, cool. Thanks. Not the point. I need a name. Like, can you brainstorm with me?" He's like, "I literally have 5 minutes, Kayla. What do you want?" I said something with like, I really like the word candid. Like, I gave him like the spiel, like the vibe, this. He was
Yeah.
like, and as I was saying, I wanted something with candid, he goes, "Let's get candid." So Brady named
You're
me,
like,
not
oh,
me.
oh.
I was like, "Oh, I like that." And I
That's
said candid
amazing.
like right at the same time. And he was like, "There you go." It wasn't this monumental thing. He was like, "Okay, gotta go. Bye. Talk to you later."
You're like, thanks, Brady.
I'm like, "Fight you. Like, why can't you be happy for
Oh
me?"
my gosh.
But that's how the name came about.
I
And like,
love
as for
it.
the business ventures, she's the founder of Rella, co-founder of Rella, and she's the one who had the podcast and told me about it. And I started doing influencer management under her.
Mm,
And it was spring break 2022. And she was like, "You're the one who runs this whole business. Would you want to do it and take it on and like make it your own business? And I will give you everything. Like, I don't want to do this anymore because like I'm focusing
mm,
on the app and
mm.
like investors and like all this."
Yeah.
And I like was like, "Well, I don't have a law firm job. I don't know how I'm gonna do it with the bar exam, but like I don't want to give this up. Like, I enjoy it. Like, I had 3 clients, but like 2 of them, like they're still my clients today.
Yeah.
And one of them being the girl
Oh,
who
that's
got the
amazing.
big paycheck.
Oh, nice.
And so I've been working with them since 2021. And I was like, "All right, I kind of I want to, but like I can't give you a." She's like, "No, no, you don't have to say anything right now." But just like thought I would let you know.
Yeah.
And she calls me. It was like a random afternoon. She's like, "Hey, do you have 5 minutes?" I said, "Yeah." She was like, "Do you want this business?" And I was like, "Okay, hold on." So my parents get home. Like, I think no, it was a couple days later. And before I was leaving for spring break, to go back to school, I was like, "So Natalie like brought this up, and like I don't know, like what do you guys think?" Again, board of directors. I was like, "What do you guys think?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, like you enjoy it and like you're good at it and like it is related to what you want to do. So like you don't have a job right now, like do it part-time on the side. And like if you get a job, like you can like disclose it or at the time you figure out like how you want to play it out." And I said, "Okay, so like I think I'm going to do this." So ultimately I said yes, and then we didn't start it until September.
Mm. So
Um
that kind of worked out
after the
anyway.
bar, but
Yeah.
me and her agreed. Like
Yeah.
we're going to keep the conversation going throughout the summer, but like I won't do anything with it until September
Yeah.
when I got back from my bar trip and all of that. And so that's how that happens. And then through there, doing brand partnership contracts and me talking about that on TikTok, a girl reached out to me and was like, "Hey, like, we just started a marketing agency and we get a lot of influencer contracts and like, it's just too much volume for us to handle. Like, could you review it?" And that's how I got my first law firm client.
Mm.
And then I was like, "Oh, I guess
Amazing.
I had already thought about, I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna start a law firm, but I didn't know, I wanted to do just trademarks. And I invested in a course to do trademarks. My parents gave me the loan for it. And by the time that I could pay it back, they're like, "No, just keep it." Like, it would have been a loan if it didn't work out
Yeah.
because it did. Like, just take it as a gift and like, don't worry about it. $3,500.
It's amazing.
And yeah, so that was how the law firm, like, I knew I was gonna start a firm, but I thought I was just gonna do trademarks. And this client came to me and they're still with me today. Um, and then my bar trip, funny, like talking about budgeting and money, like I wiped my savings clean. I had, when I graduated law school, I had 10K in savings. And mind you, I've doubled that now, which is really cool. But I had 10K in savings and I spent 6K on my bar trip plus 2K that I spent while I was in Europe for 3 weeks. So I bought myself a graduation gift and obviously food and drink.
Yeah.
And I remember crying to my mom when I came home. I was like, "Oh my God, I have no money." And she was like, "You worked since you were 16 and you paid your bar trip 100%. I think she gave me $500 to spend.
Mm.
Like while you're there.
Yeah.
They didn't pay for it. It was all me." She's
Yeah.
like, "That's something you should be really, really proud of." And I was like,
Yeah, it's
"You know
amazing.
what? You're right." Like I spent 8K.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
ar trip by myself.
And you'll make more. And you're
And
making more.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
lived my best life in Europe.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with an Italian soldier in Europe. That's what I did. True story, kind of a joke. But yeah, no, and like that mindset of like, and my mom's mindset too with money. She's like, I'm gonna spend it now because I can't take it with me,
Yeah.
and like you're gonna make your own. So like I'm gonna spend my money. I made it. So like it'll come back. Like money comes
Yeah,
back. My dad's
I
like, that's
agree.
not quite how money works. Like you need to know where it's going, but like also
But
okay, I
again, it's the
support you.
practical and the woo-woo when they come
So they're
together.
like that
It's
with money. My mom
the
is
perfect
my mom is
marriage.
the like woo, and my dad's like, hold your horses with money. But same thing. Like we have a lot of goals and like plans ourselves as a family with our money and real estate and investments and businesses we want to get into,
Yeah.
and I have them for myself as well. So like my relationship with money has changed, but it's because my relationship with myself and like how I want to show up in the world has changed, and like
Yeah.
I got really clear on that vision, and like I said, 7 years away, and like
Yeah.
it's closer than I think. Like I look at myself 3 years ago and where I'm at now, I would
Oh,
not
and
have
trust me, it flies
imagined.
by so
But I
fast.
also wouldn't have imagined where I'm at right now. But like it's funny because around that time I started getting this feeling in my gut. I think I've told you this, that 25, 26 was going to be transformative for me in my career.
Yeah.
And it so far has been. And I know it will continue to be because I did the board of directors meeting last week to know where 2024 is going to look like and what year 26 for me is going to look like. And I'm starting to get the feeling that 27, 28 is going to be family and relationships for me.
I love
And
it.
I already plan to buy my house at that time as well.
Oh my gosh. It's just going to keep getting better and better.
Yeah.
And I know everyone's going to want to follow along on the journey. This was such a great conversation.
Yeah.
I really appreciate
we can
you
keep
coming
going.
on. I know. I love it. But seriously, thank you
No,
so
thank you
so
so
much.
much.
This was so much fun. I know people are really going to get I say it every episode, so much value, but so many I feel like you gave so many amazing tips about networking and money and the way that you approach your life and your business. This was excellent. Thank you
No,
for
thank
coming
you so
on.
much
I
for having
appreciate
me.
it so much. It's amazing.